Welcome in, everybody. We're back. Average Joe Sports Talk. Today, we're going to dig into NFL fantasy. Fantasy has become huge over I'd say 10 years. It's became massive. It grows every single year. Tons and tons of my friends playing fantasy football. Instead of doing just a straight up boring NFL preview, we could do one of those, but we want to dive a little bit deeper and do the fantasy preview. And the reason being is every dude I know just about plays fantasy, but not everybody's even NFL fans. There's more fantasy football players than there are NFL fans. And that's a testament to, a lot of people, like Wood said, when we were talking about our college preview, he's a fan guy. Somebody from Florida's huge, he goes to the NFL, well, he's going to follow him. He does have a specific NFL team he pulls for, but a lot of people like certain players. So with that being said, we're going to dive straight into this. We're going to give you a little bit like our top 10 picks, who to pick on draft day, how to pick. We also got some sleepers here, and I'm going to let these two guys kind of lead this one off, and I'm just going to kind of narrate on it. Josh, when you play fantasy, what strategy you go into? Do you play a PPR league?
I play in a 8-team PPR league. We have a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, flex, defense, special teams, and a kicker.
Do you play a team defense?
Yes.
My league, we have a super flex where you have a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, and you can put any position at that flex. Mm-hmm. And we play an individual defensive guy, which is 1 point for tackle, 3 points for turnover. So your linebackers can score. If you got a good linebacker, he can score 30 points a game for you.
Yeah.
We have a lot of other hidden stuff about my league, that bonuses and stuff that makes people who hit big plays and stuff like that more dangerous. But in a PPR league, you definitely got to have that running back that can do both.
Yes, running backs are huge. As a matter of fact, that's part of my strategy is, I would suggest if you are in a PPR league, I would definitely suggest drafting your running backs first. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing a snake draft, if you can't get one of those top 5 running backs, and you're in a snake draft, I would suggest grabbing one of those top tier wide receivers and then coming back early in the second round and grabbing a running back. Running backs are just so important because a lot of teams are going to a running back by committee. Yep. And those top tier big point running backs are hard to find. So draft your running backs first if you're in a PPR league, especially if you're 8 teams or fewer.
Somebody like a Le'Veon Bell obviously would be massive. Gurley's massive just because of gaudy numbers.
To me, there's 3 running backs that you cannot go wrong if you take them. If you draft any of these 3 first, you can't go wrong, and that's Todd Gurley. That's my number 1 running back. I've got Le'Veon Bell. Now, I'm a little bit concerned with Le'Veon Bell with the contract issue.
His attitude's not always the best either, bro.
It's not, but every year, and I don't know how Pittsburgh has the top running back and the top wide receiver. It's crazy.
I know, dude. I think it's a testament to their system, Mike Tomlin. I mean, he's a heck of a coach. A lot of their issues on the other side of the ball, which used to be not the case when Palomalo and guys was there.
But my top 3 running backs, I've got Todd Gurley, David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, and I think really Saquon Barkley is going to be huge.
I think he's going to be nasty. Woods, who you got? Who you looking at?
I like those guys, obviously. The 2 guys, and it was the same thing last year for me as rookies. The 2 guys I look for this year, and everybody's going to jump on the Le'Veon Bells and the David Johnsons, but Fournette from Jacksonville.
He's a workhorse.
He's a workhorse. And I mean, he's going to be a stat stuffer for Jaguars. They depend on the running game first to set up for Bortles to throw the football. My next pick that if I had the first 2 picks, I can't tell you I'd pick a Bell. I mean, I'm more unconventional, and I do stuff. I pick Gators. That's why I get beat probably every year in fantasy. But I mean, it's my allegiance to the Gators is silly in fantasy. It is. But I used to pick Tebow when he first came out. He'd be on my roster. But anyways, he should have started a bunch more NFL games, but we won't get into all that. But anyways, my next one is Dalvin Cook, and that's hard for me to say being a Gator fan, but that guy is a stud, and he got injured last year. He's back this year, and everyone thinks, Murray's going to step in and, maybe split his carries. No, I'm sorry. All due respect to him, Dalvin Cook is A1A.
He's a great running back.
Fournette and Cook are my two. I mean, I would put them up there in that category. I know there's a tier 1, tier 2, but just because their needs on their team, those two guys are right up there with any of them to me.
Yeah, that's a good
just my
point
opinion.
because last night I seen Marquise Lee tore his ACL. So that running game just got a lot more carries.
Somebody I think that could be a sleeper because of the system he's in and because he can catch the football. If he can stay healthy and get his growing healthy, he's going to be Sonny Michel. He's at New England with Tom Brady. They're going to find ways to use him. He is a super dangerous weapon, and he can get those tough carries down there at the goal line that you need to get in the end zone.
Here, it's always risky drafting anybody from the Patriots.
Because he spreads it.
Yes, other than Tom Brady, Gronkowski, because they're going to get theirs. But the running backs, Sonny Michel could have 40 carries one game and 5 the next game. It's just all like Bill Belichick just plays these weird mind games, and it's very frustrating as a fantasy owner because you could miss out on a ton of points if you've got Michel because it may not be his week.
Right.
So, it could be Rex Burkhead who has a ton of points. And I've seen Rex Burkhead get 3 carries, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's crazy.
I think Michel is versatile enough to where I think he can earn a role to stay on the field majority of the carries if given the chance. It'll be interesting. I think he could be a sleeper in this draft.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I like that pickup for both Michel and the Patriots. I think they were a good fit for each other.
I think so too. Let's change gears a little bit and let's move into the quarterbacks a little bit. In leagues such as my league, you hit 300 yards, you get extra bonus points. You hit a big pass play for 50 yards, you get extra bonus points. Touchdowns count the same for quarterbacks as they do for running backs in my league. So quarterbacks are big scorers in my league. Maybe not so much in the league you're in, but when you get somebody who's a stat stuffer like a Rodgers or Brady, or even Big Ben at times, they can definitely change your team. Woods, who do you got starting off at quarterback?
I can tell you, and it's always been this way with me. I've always taken the quarterback that can run and pass. I love Cam Newton in fantasy leagues, but of course, coming off injury again, and he's not really a sleeper. He's just one of Deshaun Watson. If you don't get a Brady or a Rodgers, then I think he's your next pick. I don't. And again, another guy that I've had a lot of success with in fantasy leagues that nobody, and he's a great quarterback. Everyone knows he is, but you don't really is Phillip Rivers from the Chargers. I mean,
he's one of those guys you usually get pretty late, but he always has a good year. He's going to throw for 4,000 yards.
Well, they're getting beat by 30 usually, and he gets thrown the ball a lot in the second half. So he's actually a really good pick for most people. But that's who I like Stafford. Stafford's a lot like Phillip Rivers. He's gonna stuff the stat sheet. But Deshaun Watson, I like him a lot. Him or Cam Newton, if I can get those two. And I tell you, Lamar Jackson, I know he's the backup quarterback at Baltimore, but goodness gracious, that guy, he's just as electric in the pros as he was in college. And there's people pining for him to actually start down there. And if Flacco struggles a little bit, which he's known to do, then look out.
Calling for him.
Might be worth picking up in one of the late rounds just in case.
Yes.
Josh, let me ask you before you answer. How do you feel about Russell Wilson?
I like Russell Wilson.
He's lost a lot of his receivers that he had at one time.
Yeah, I mean, I can't name maybe one wide receiver he's got.
Yep, he's lost a lot of weapons, and that running game has went downhill since Beast Mode left.
Every year he seems to just keep piling up points.
Last year was his best point value in fantasy league.
A hidden stat about him: did you know he's the second highest rated passer of all time behind Rodgers? Did you know that?
I did not know that. Now I knew he was up there.
He's the second highest rated passer in NFL history behind Aaron Rodgers.
But I've got Aaron Rodgers first.
That's obvious. He's the best in the world.
Yeah. Tom Brady. Carson Wentz is really high on my list. But I'm going to give you somebody that you may not have heard of. You may have. Patrick Mahomes. He's going to be the starter over at Kansas City. And when you look at what he's got around
They've
him,
got some weapons.
Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Kelsey, and then you've got Kareem Hunt.
That's nasty. You're right.
And he's got
him into a gold line.
Yeah, he's got a great arm, great accuracy, and can run the ball some. I think he ran for over 600 yards his senior season at Texas Tech. So if you can grab him, I would say pick up Mahomes because that could be your diamond in the rough this year.
Who are some of the other like rookies do you think that it's going to jump in there and make an impact?
I would like to say Calvin Ridley.
I'm talking about straight up quarterback.
Oh, just quarterbacks.
You think Baker Mayfield's going to get the start eventually?
Eventually.
I don't know. I like Tyrod Taylor. I think he did an outstanding job in Buffalo. I think he'll hold on to the job, and I actually think he'll lead them to a 9-7, 8-8 type record.
Which if they were 9-7 there,
yeah, I mean,
they'll make statues.
Well, the thing is, everyone thinks he's a two-way quarterback, but he wants to pass the ball. I mean, he wants to throw the football, and he can stay healthy, And again, but you're right. If he goes down, I don't think Baker will overtake him just on pure performance
Or fan pressure.
Yeah. Because I think Tyrod will perform really well for them. So, but I could see Baker Mayfield if he does get on the field, then definitely. I mean, he's going to light it up. He's a gunslinger, and I don't know. He'll throw some picks for you, but he'll also light up the scoreboard.
Because there were a lot of good quarterbacks drafted.
Well, they're so deep at receiver. They have playmakers.
Finally,
the Browns have playmakers everywhere.
You never heard that.
And I'm gonna go off fantasy just for a little bit, but Cleveland's gonna be better this year.
Oh, much, yeah.
I think they're gonna have a little excitement going for sure.
Yes. Defense is outstanding down there.
Now let's change gears and go into receivers right fast. Antonio Brown, obviously. I mean, that's somebody that year in, year out. Julio Jones is another guy. Those are your Rodgers and your Bradys of the receiving corps, in my opinion.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, he's nasty, dude. Who is some other guys that are, maybe not on that level, but right there near them that's coming up that you think you would take pretty high in the draft?
Right now, I'm pretty high on Jarvis Landry.
He's nasty.
I think he's going to have a great year. New team. He's going to be the best wide receiver on that team. Keenan Allen. Somebody I'm really high on. And I hate, as a Green Bay Packer fan, I hated to see Green Bay get rid of Jordy Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
But Devontae Adams.
He's nasty.
He is going to get those receptions. He's going to get those targets. If you got a chance to get Devontae Adams, snatch him up. I've got him above Tyreek Hill.
That's a great pick. I like Devontae Adams a lot also. I like Stephon Diggs. Got Cousins throwing ball now. And the guy we were talking about, Russell Wilson a minute ago, the guy he's going to throw to is Doug Baldwin.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of other options. So he'll get a lot of opportunities, hopefully a lot of catches, a lot of yards and touchdowns and stuff the stat sheet. And outside of that top echelon, I like the Adams pick a lot. He was my guy too.
What do you think about DJ Shark this year with Marquise Lee going?
Yeah, he'll have to step up. I mean, it's going to be I actually have I had him as one of my sleepers before, so now he's definitely going to have to step up, and he will. He'll be a stat stuffer. I agree.
I like his height.
Yep.
He's going to get a lot of red zone, end zone targets.
I think that somebody I have as a sleeper is Jordy. He's going to throw 35, 40 times a game. So somebody's got to catch those balls. Now you got a seasoned receiver in there, and now they can't double team Cooper as much. So now you can't if you want to, because then Jordy will eat you alive.
Jordy's going to eat you alive.
You're going to have to, disguise your defenses. You're going to have to zone these guys up some, and he's the NFL seasoned enough that he's going to get open. So I think he's a sleeper in this draft. I actually drafted last night and got him very late, and I was very happy to get him.
You got Jordy late?
Late. I mean, I got him like ninth round.
Wow.
No, it was in the 10th. I got him in the 10th round last night. I was very happy to do that. Well, let's move on to tight ends for a minute. Everybody knows Gronk. I mean, that's obvious. Who else would you put in that upper echelon, Woods, as a Gronk?
I like Kelsey a lot. I mean, everyone likes Kelsey, but that guy, he is Gronk 2.0 to me. I mean, he's that kind of player. They're almost same build. I mean, so that'd be my guy. You know, if I couldn't get him, I'd have to look a little deeper. But
Gronk party's a lot more though.
Gronk party's a lot harder and probably a lot more fun to be around. I don't know, Kelsey. You see some of that?
Yeah.
You see some of that, Kelsey? Yeah, I mean.
He's got his own reality show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Ertz.
Zach Ertz,
Yeah, Ertz.
is, to me, there's 3 tight ends, Gronk, Kelsey, Ertz, and then you can draw a line and there's a steep cliff.
Well,
Jordan Reed's a guy.
Trey
also.
Burton's another
Trey
very
Burton.
versatile guy that can get you
Chicago,
points.
yeah.
Trey
We're talking about
Burton.
Gators.
Now, as being Green Bay fans, there's you a sleeper.
Yes. Trey Burton, he was Ertz's backup last year. Signed a 4-year deal with the Bears,
I think Trey Burton's a sleeper.
and I think he's going to get a lot of.
Yep.
Let me see where I've actually got my list right here. Let me see.
Where you got
where
Graham at?
I had Graham listed at 7.
I got him third. I got him third.
Who's
behind
throwing the
Ertz.
ball?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I have him third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you say that, but Aaron Rodgers only targets tight ends 17% of the time. So he's not. But that
Who's he
may,
had as a tight end?
that
too?
may change though with Jimmy Graham. When you got somebody like Jimmy Graham, you change your playbook around to get him the ball.
Makes sense.
But I do have Trey Burton down as my number 10.
I got Trey Burton because he's versatile.
Yes.
He may throw a touchdown. He did in the Super Bowl.
Well, he played quarterback, running back, half, everything.
He may
for
run.
Florida.
He
Yeah.
may run some
Yeah.
sweeps. He may run some wildcat. He could be he could be a Swiss Army knife at tight end. Now, I think we've covered the tight ends pretty well. We need to dive into kickers, guys. Y'all want to just?
I just usually
kickers is just you can pick them up the
Week
last
by
minute.
week, yeah.
I usually do that. I've tried that strategy going week by week because you can have the best kicker in the league, but if you're playing in Chicago,
Yeah.
you don't want your kicker going to Chicago.
Yeah.
You want your kicker in a dome, if at all possible. So that's something that I change up
Week by week.
week by week.
That's a good strategy because that leaves you open to do something else that you might roster need. Let's talk about defenses real fast, guys, then we're going to shut it down. Defensive team wise, what are you guys looking at?
Go ahead.
I like the Panthers.
Yeah. They're always.
They're nasty.
They are.
They do great.
Baltimore.
Baltimore, Jacksonville, actually.
Jacksonville's defense,
Yeah.
just year after year, they're getting better. This may sound crazy to some of you, but I actually go week by week sometimes with defense.
I do.
Because you can't, if you have Jacksonville and they're playing the Patriots, so you really don't know. You really don't know what's going to happen. Or if they're playing the Packers, you don't. But if you go week by week and I try to take the defense as playing the weakest offense, look at matchups, and I do go, and sometimes it works out great for me.
Yeah.
Then sometimes it doesn't work out so great for me. But it's the same thing if you draft a defense. I mean, you'll get a little consistency, but is it worth, taking this team instead of, picking up maybe a third or fourth wide receiver? Is it worth that on the scale of points in a fantasy world? So
Unless you got just a stellar defense that
Yeah.
week in, week out is going to create turnovers and shut the offenses down, I like the week by week strategy on that.
Yeah, I mean, in years past, you could do that with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
Baltimore.
And before that, when Ray Lewis was
Yeah.
Baltimore.
But, yeah, I don't think you can do that this year. I don't see a defense that really stands out that I'm going to go in the 6th, 7th round. I may not even draft until the very last round.
We do individual defensive players in my league, so it's obvious I don't dig too much into the team defense, but I see what you're saying.
Who'd you get on your individual defensive?
I can't ever pronounce his name right. Cluckley?
Keekly.
Yeah.
North Carolina?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Simply because in my league, you got, like I said, point per tackle. That guy gets 20 tackles a game. There's 20 points. And then he's always around the ball. He's a ball hawk.
Yeah,
So turnovers.
What about C.J. Mosley?
He's way up there.
Telvin Smith from Jacksonville is
He's up
an
there.
insane baller, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
You want
FSU
high energy
linebacker.
linebackers that are around the ball every play.
Yep.
In my league, I mean, do you know who the highest rated DB in the league is? Who's higher rated? He's actually listed on CBS Sports as the number 7 player to draft and defensively. Guess who it is?
Who's that?
Jalen Ramsey.
He's garbage. I'm tired.
He's
of
a
hearing-
Florida guy.
I'm tired of hearing.
Stick with
DB.
Yep. Canoe Neal.
Oh, Keanu. Yes, I can see that. Yes.
Dude, he is the 7th highest rated
Yes.
defender in the league because he's a ball hawk and he has tons of tackles over there.
Brian Poole does a lot on that team too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keanu Neal, that's huge. I'm a little disappointed in myself. This
Dude,
point.
he's the 7th highest rated defender in the league according to CBS. So guys, here's one thing I'm going to tell you before we shut this down. I do have access to the CBS app, which we had to pay like over $1,000 to have that. So it gives up to the minute updates, who to start, who to think, injury reports, everything like that. So every Sunday morning we're going to be running a show very early like this. We're probably for sure going to do that one live on Facebook. That way the people who want to jump on here, I can give you up to the minute. And if we have some interaction and ask about somebody, we'll let you know on there. We're going to shut this one down. You guys got anything else to say?
I do not.
This is Average Joe Sports Talk. You guys have a good night.